Hello and welcome to my channel. Today I've decided that I'm going to make a channel banner, which I should have done the profile picture first, but hey, why not do the banner first and then put out the profile picture on Tuesday. Can't think now. I'm doing the poses, just getting the poses figured out. This doesn't take very long, which I don't know why I made that line. This doesn't take very long because it's just a quick, simple sketch. Not obviously, it'll take longer if I do a bigger drawing, but here I do kind of a generic torso. I can only really do one type of torso at the minute. I want to experiment a bit more. Maybe I'll do that in the next video if I do another. But I gave him a bit of like a biomechanical, I don't know if that really comes through, mace type of arm, and then a hand cannon, which it's sci-fi-y. What sci-fi thing doesn't have a hand cannon? Then I gave him some pants, and I got started on a helmet, which it started out as a bit of an awkward helmet. It kind of looked like I tried to do a hairdo and it failed. But don't worry, it will all come together, which if you're watching this video then you'll see that it already has. Because, in fact no, you probably haven't, because there's no way that you searched up my channel, clicked on a channel that has one video, looked at the home page of it, and saw that it has a banner. Anyway, I just gave him a Caucasian skin tone, and then, am I using Caucasian right? I think that's how it's used. Anyway, I kind of just gave him army greens. I added some neon onto the cannon for a pop of colour. And then I realised that I had to separate his cargos from his normal shirt. So now I'm just colouring them in. I made the cargos a bit darker. And now it's on to the goggles, which I had a really hard time with these because I couldn't quite get the transparency right. I wanted them to be green, but I also wanted the eyes to show through. So, believe me, this took ages. This is quite sped up. But in the end, I just gave in and dyed the pupils, which is kind of cheating, I guess. Comment if you think that it's cheating, if you want to comment, because I reckon it will help with something. I really don't understand how YouTube ad revenue works. Now, it was right about now that I realised I was drawing a piranha plant from Mario. So, I tried to change some things up, add a few spikes, make him look dehydrated, like Jesus Christ after he did like 30 days or something in the desert without anything, which I don't think that Jesus would be thirsty. Anyway, or spiky to be honest. But I think that it kind of looked like a symbiote went onto a piranha plant, which wasn't the look that I was going for, and these eyes did not help with that look. I kind of went back and I added in some blaster bolts from the hand cannon, because what self-respecting sci-fi thing doesn't immediately shoot whenever it sees a giant plant monster? Now I've just separated the head from the stalk, and a bit of a tip that I've learnt is that if you want to do the head, or in fact the skin tone of anything, you have to do a gradient starting towards the light source, being a bit lighter, and then away from the light source make it a darker colour. So like you can see with the head, I made it the same colour but more shadowed, whereas with the stem I made it a slightly different, more bluish colour towards the shadows. It just depends on how it looks and your personal preference really. I've then gone on to do the ground, because whenever we get onto the rest of the drawing, I'm going to do a bit under the ground, so it helps to have a ground in the first place. This is a bit boring, so I'm just going to start saying anything that comes to my mind. Nothing is coming to mind. Wow. This is crazy. No, wait, please don't leave. I swear that it gets better. This is just boring. Alright, boring bit over. Grass is done. Now I'm going to go under the ground. I don't know why I did a Sebastian accent. I don't know what that was either. But I'm going to try out a sky, which I didn't put that much effort into it because this is going to be way more zoomed in than you can see. So you probably won't even notice that there's a gradient. I'm an idiot. Now, you don't have to see the sky for the rest of the video. And I'm going to go and do a bit of extra for the desktop. Now, I ran into a small problem where I forgot how much space I had. So I did this here cannon a little bit small, emphasis on little. Easy enough, I did it on a separate layer so then I can size it up. Then I thought, hey, I can't just give the army dude some support, that's not really fair. So I gave the piranha plant some extra tendrils, I guess catching stray bullets by that. But I had to make sure that I don't just copy and paste it, so now I added a bit of goopalizing, which isn't a word I don't think. I added goop to the tentacles to just differentiate them a bit. Alright, so now I'm adding a bit under the ground, which there's 2 turrets. I need to get rid of the second turret ASAP. Thank you. Alright, now onto under the ground. I decided to make a mole man, and much better. I think that this might be my favourite thing that I've ever drawn. I don't know why, he's so derpy. I guess he's angry at the plants for invading his home under the ground. So now he's burrowing up to nibble on their honey or something. That sounds like a Winnie the Pooh reference. It's not. It's quite a simple design. Claws, eyes, mouth, tiny legs, because I imagine that he didn't walk too much. I made him red just so that he can still be kind of brown, but he can pop out from the dirt, because we don't want him to blend in with the dirt now, do we? I also had an idea where, have you ever seen in like cartoons, if a character's digging, then the tunnel will be like darker where they've dug, and then lighter where they've not dug. So I decided, hey, let's try that. It went good, I think. So now I've started erasing sorry, my throat is sore, so I'm just going to pause whenever nothing's happening. I've just started erasing wherever he's dug, because he's erased it. I think that was a funny joke. Comment a laughing face if you think that too. So I've just erased where he's dug, and do you think that it looks good? I think that it looks good. But at the end of the day, I'm doing this for anyone watching this, so it's not really my opinion that matters, it's yours. I've given him a little friend, ? Don't know if they associate with each other, I'll have to ask. And he is just thrilled to be here. I gave him weird eyes. I don't like their eyes. They look like they would stare through your soul and destroy you. I also gave him a bottle of poison, I'm just doing now. And don't worry, your screen's not lagging, it's still working. I gave him this here bottle of poison so that he could be doing something, but it doesn't even show up whenever you look at it because it's so tiny. Also, it's only visible on TVs, and I imagine in this day and age not many people watch YouTube on the TV. I tried making him brown. You can see in a second why that didn't work. So that idea got turned down fast. Now I've made him blue. I'm blue, da-woo-dee-da-woo-die. I believe I can fly, da-woo-dee-da-woo-die. Fun. Alright, moving on because nobody cares about my wonderful singing. Alright, now we're on to a flying robot. Wow, very futuristic. They'll have them in 2 years, by the way, run by ChatGPT and OpenAI. Never fear, ChatGPT is here. I don't understand why everyone's so scared of ChatGPT. Like, in a couple of months is probably understating it, years maybe, people will just get bored of it. I mean, like, YouTube's not going to be happy with it. Advertisers are probably going to be like, we don't want to put adverts on AI videos. If they stop advertising, YouTube's going to lose a lot of money. They're not going to want that. So they're going to put restrictions on AI videos then. Everyone will be saying about how nobody could have seen that coming. Who would have thought? Anyway, I've decided to make him a bit more of a boxy, old-fashioned robot. Kind of like, did anyone else use Playmobil? I used to have a Playmobil set with a robot in it, and it was very boxy. I might have been feeling inspired by my childhood whenever I did this. Let's think of it like that. I'm not sure how he's flying, because I didn't include rockets or anything. Maybe the sign that he's holding is keeping him afloat. I added a little reference to the fact that you can only see this on TV by adding text that's so small that you can't see it whenever you're watching it on TV. I then made 6 times of the word TV. That's me trying to beatbox, by the way. And who would have thought that it wouldn't fit on a tiny sign? So I'm just expanding that now. And I think that once I've finished the sign, let's not colour him in yet. How about we move over to the other side and draw? Guess what? A potato. Potato. I've given him kind of a endless void of abyss kind of expression, which we've all experienced Monday. We know how it feels. I also gave him a potato peeler, which I just think is kind of fun because he's a potato. He's using it to skin his friends. I gave him a regular potato-y colour. I couldn't figure out does this potato peeler, whenever I use any white colour, look really pink to you guys? Because I think that it did. In the end, I went for a brownie colour. And then I made his eyes red and black for some reason. Maybe he's evil. Maybe he's working with the plants. But his mouth is just black. Because who cares about mouths? And now let's go back to the robot, because I realised that I hadn't coloured him in yet. Made him mostly grey, and he must be on the good guys team because his eyes are green. Green not only is for poison, it's also for good. Which, who made that rule? It seems a bit contradictory. Anyway, now I'm just combining it all together, and I hope that you've enjoyed this video because this is the end. Well, that video was a blast. I hope that there will be much more like this, but it'll only be possible if people like and subscribe. Just kidding, there'll probably be more videos. Tuesdays and Saturdays probably. This will be the first video, and then in the next video, maybe he'll make the profile picture. Maybe we'll be friends. Maybe he'll do a video redrawing me, so then I can finally look good, and I'll be a real boy. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.